these years and I still can't get my head around what Augustine did. Sacrificing her whole team. And for what? What did our blood pay for? Oh, Commander. Thought you were Val. Glad to see you up and ambling about. And not, human stew. You know, when I first learned some of the escape pods made it away from the station, I'd hoped. I did search for you, Commander. Just as soon as I was able. Might be you're giving me more grace than I deserve, but either way, thank you. So then, I gather Val's described our state of affairs?
Confirmed. The commander has received a full briefing on the following topics: the invasion of Arcadia, the Rift, and Agent DeVries's survival.
DeVries. Would have been better if she joined the dead. I figured she'd done just that until I got the alert that she brought down the Earth Directorate satellite. If she's of a mind to, she could use the information on that thing to destabilize the Rift and destroy Arcadia. She was one of us, Commander. It's our responsibility to stop her. Glad to see you're just as by the book as I remember. She's going to ground now. But as part of her original undercover mission, DeVries was inserted at the Vox relay station on Paradise Island. She'd have followed protocol, established a safe room there. Wager that's where we'll find clues as to her present plans and whereabouts. Thank you, Commander. Means a lot coming from you. Just to be clear, I'm not saying we're strolling up to the Vox station and knock nicely. The Vox is highly restricted and heavily defended. It'd be a death sentence. We might ought to explore the island first, find out what we can. The satellite alert pinged DeVries' tracker in a town, name of Fairfield. Wasn't nowhere clear as yours, so we need to poke around a bit. Doubt she's there now, but it seems a better place to start than insulting her protectorate communications hub. Sooner we get to Paradise Island, the better.
Ready to disembark, Commander. Just say the word.
Records indicate that lockboxes, such as the two housed in this dispenser, were originally part of a failed smuggling operation. Special lockbox keys are needed to open them. After discovering the first lockbox, Agent Ibarra installed this dispenser to house additional lockboxes, which may be located throughout the colony. Unfortunately, due to a jam, the dispenser is currently inoperable. Agent Ibarra deprioritized its repair in order to focus on rescuing you, Commander. Theorizing. Extracting the contents from the first lockbox may disencumber the dispenser, allowing it to return to normal operations. This unit has an advanced decryption key that can open the first lockbox, Commander. Helpful addendum. Scans also indicate an Anti's Choice dematerializer within the first lockbox, which you may find useful in the discreet disposal of bodies, Commander. An Earth Directorate agent prepares for all eventualities, including but not limited to unpremeditated murder. Additionally, the second lockbox's contents may contain parts to upgrade your Valerie unit. Upgrades are recommended to improve your experience of Valerie. Please do not attempt physical intimacy with your Valerie unit. This unit may suffer occasional wear and tear in the course of performing its operations. Routine maintenance is required. Acknowledged. An upgraded Valerie unit will boost the team's overall level of effectiveness by an estimated 87.3%. Please be on the lookout for any additional lockboxes, which may be stored here for your convenience.
can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? No, anyway, need something, Commander? It was less merger and more hostile takeover. I don't have all the details, but it sounds like Spacer's Choice tried to outmaneuver Auntie Cleo through quasi-legal means and got a hell of a lot more than they bargained for. And now her new brand's been turned into an invasion force bent on conquering the entire system. Funny how life works out. Oh yeah? What's needling you? Fair point. Guess Horizon Point didn't exactly foster a lasting fellowship, did it? Whoa. Too soon, Commander. All jesting aside, what's there to tell? Spent the first year getting back up on my feet, literally. Been mostly laying low since then, maintaining my cover. Before the invasion, at least, the Earth Directorate still needed someone to watch the colony, and I had 2 working lamps. Not always. Went a couple of stretches there on low power to avoid detection from Protectorate patrols. I usually shut her down for a few cycles then. The way you're gawping at me right now makes me think I answered that question wrong. I appreciate the concern. Won't lie, had some hard years. Got caught up in a few lost causes, the particulars of which I'd rather not go into now, if it's all the same. No point jawing about history when our ex-agent friend is out there doing her damnedest to ruin the future. I found you. Oh, and Val's been stalling less since I patched her acclimator. Ship doesn't smell anymore. That's about it. Spratwurst. I was trying to teach myself some new skills in the galley. Val got it into her hardware. I needed a hobby. I figured Spratwurst ain't an easy meal to mess up. Well, I learned about 20 ways how not to fix a worst. Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. You never forget your first time manually flushing a propulsion tank, do you? Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Oh, now, you'll have to tell me what those other things are sometime. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Could have maybe done with a smidge less excitement back on Horizon Point. But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah. Some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and, well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair. but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. Noted? Oh, and thanks for what you said. Maybe I'm not as far away from where I started as I thought. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. That's either hope or foolishness, Commander, and I can't tell which. Even if we survive the rift, 10 years is a long time to be gone. No word. They probably figure I'm dead. Void it all. Now you got me thinking about it. How about this? We ever make it out of this system, I'll take you back to Triangulum, make the introductions myself. Deal? Oh yeah. They're gonna get a real charge out of you. She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding. And I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. I've got time. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Engaging combat protocols. Health benefit. Available at your request.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
Banter elsewhere. Stay in line or I'll knock you to the bottom of the org chart. No.
No. Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain. Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant, ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No,
Auntie.
Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spying. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Now, hold a moment, Carr. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? I say, anyone can be an ally, even a supposed enemy. All you need is the right combination of motivators. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island?
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? I have some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. But surely a go-getter like yourself has more ambitious goals on our island. Share them with me, and we can brave them together. Ambitious, aren't we? Easily the best protected location on Paradise Island. Hardly a place for a stroll. But if you assist me, I promise to get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing. But for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Yes, one additional word of warning. The good Commander Carr shall not take kindly to your working with me, though that is a bridge most worth burning in my estimate.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spacer's Choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
Didn't catch a look at your uniform before. Oh, the reaching arm of the Earth Directorate, wagging its fingers and snagging our pocketbooks. Hope you won't be a problem. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are Protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged, lest Automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Do you suggest that our good minister has lost patience with playing fair and now seeks to delve into the oily recesses of brainwashing? Oh, for shame. He's devoted to his half measures. I'll give him that. But he wouldn't have to wheedle and connive if he knew directness. Milver Street's grinning manipulation won't earn nothing but more of our own dead. Work with me. Could be direct. Feign that you're an assistant of some kind, though you'd have to have some know-how regarding engineering. But a simpler path would be paying a visit to the Ministry of Accuracy, liberating some credentials. Yaysayers ain't capable of suspecting a piece of paper. Competence recognizes competence. Get into that facility and make certain it won't ever function again. I look forward to hearing your results.
You approach openly, despite your new standing as a minion of Commander Babylon Carr. Well, speak all you like, you've aligned yourself with the brute, thereby identifying yourself as one. I shall not forget this anytime soon. Go on, then.
Been working at that spot of business we discussed. Easier to lead with fewer targets nibbling at your psyche. Loose your words. I'm listening.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just taro excrement. Ugh. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. Right? It's all gotta go somewhere after we cash in our bits. Who's to say some of that matter don't stick around in one form or another? I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
Those incessant jingles over the loudspeakers. Do they ever cease?
No signs of corrosion. Exhaust manifold still warm. Come on, baby. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong.
Keep your petty skepticism. I'll pay my tab in no time. You'll see.
Might I have a word, Commander? I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn. Avoid it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit? Brief one, of course. Not sure he'd still consider me such, but that's part and parcel of the reason I want to see him. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. Much as I might love to jaw about that special interest of mine, this business with Zeb's gotta come first. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. All that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing. Putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't before. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there. Whoa, Val? Watch where you're pointing that shooter of yours. You've been pitching a little unevenly.
Since the fastball incident of 97, automechs are not permitted to participate in tossball games, leagues, or tournaments.
I mean, your aim's been off. Wouldn't want me or the good commander here catching any strays.
When attempting to capture a stray animal, approach slowly and quietly. If the animal senses danger, it may grow aggressive.
You know what? Forget I said anything. You're doing great.
Enthusiastically neutralizing.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this war.
Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Meant no offense, you ain't one of Auntie's, and from the look of things, the Protectorate here didn't put up much of a fight. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Oh, that's a high-profile target. Huh. If she entrusted that to you, then I reckon we're on the same side. Or something like it. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milver Street of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. When there's paperwork, there's enemy secrets. And dropping Raptidons on the place is a quick way to stop any personnel keen on destroying those secrets before we find them. It's a kinder fate than if they survived. Allowing us to walk off with this intel would surely land any survivor in front of the firing squad, or sentimental refreshment. This place is an archive of Protectorate censorship. If it's been sanitized, censored, or rewritten out of the Protectorate's history, the Ministry's where you'll find it. And apparently there's some highly sensitive intel about mental refreshment hereabouts. The Minister sent me here to find it. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Sorry. Guess I'm just used to folks staring real hard and then steering clear. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the raps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Entering a confrontational state.
Isn't so dreadful after all. They even allowed me a choice between fishing and sanitary engineering. That's far more freedom than we were ever offered while living under protection. Also, brace yourself. Can you believe we received tech, that is to say, monetary review?
curious about the kind of training that'll produce an arbiter. Can't imagine it's pleasant. You hear that? Sounds like a dragoon.
Warning. Turret sentries ahead. Stealth advised.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Contact established.
Eyes on some notes.
Charging.
And I'll take care of him, Commander.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. Real code 472. 472 means they're gonna fill anything.
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for Zyranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad, aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
All
that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. Well, prepare to be disappointed. We've got a gas leak, if the color of the sky hadn't already informed you. Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the Zyranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype Zyranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. What did I tell you, Woodrow? The situation's well in hand.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with Zyranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zyranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Brigadier Montelli does not accept excuses, and he does not tolerate failure. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Outsider?
What brings you to
Might be
this?
wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. I don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zyranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zyranium? I'll mark it down as haphazard meandering then. All too common these days. More dangerous than one might think. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zyranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Zyranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zyranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined Zyranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zyranium crystals to explode. Zyranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, Zyranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zyranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the Zyranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from Zyranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zyranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis. Atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in subclass.
If you need something, kindly make it quick.
Outsider?
Ambient Zyranium levels are higher than average, but within acceptable ranges. State your business. This unit was engineered to facilitate management of supply inventory at this installation.
Oh, this is surely exciting. Someone is finally trying out my automechanical quartermaster.
Show them what you got, Quartermech.
Command not understood.
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode. Let's look into that later. Please, give it a try yourself. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the Quartermech here. Passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. That's what I always say. Why overcomplicate perfection? Now what'll it be? See you soon, I hope.
Stay true, outsider.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Whether or not you're able to help us, I'm grateful to have an extra set of eyes on the problem. Zyranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I don't think anything. Leak or no leak, we can't abandon our post. The Doctor's Zyranium shield is how we outlast this conflict. My people are fighting a war on two fronts, Anti on one side and Zyranium on the other. I can fight Anti, but I can't fight Zyranium. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Anti's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Zyranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. True, the facility was disrupted, but it was not undone. The Protectorate saw to that. When disorder looms its ugly head, the Protectorate relies on its people to maintain and restore that order. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a Protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset, and I am its second steward. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Anti's choice. For their failure of loyalty and grit, they were punished, and rightly so. Now, their burden is mine, but I won't allow my unit to suffer the same fate.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zyranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zyranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zyranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zyranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. quite splendidly if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zyranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zyranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zyranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zyranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zyranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zyranium poisoning. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, The original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zyranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do that. Anything to keep him off my back for an hour.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
What have you done? The Zyranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. No, touch nothing, do nothing. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid.
Fairfield, now under the new and improved management of Auntie's Choice. I'd usually ask if you were affiliated with the previous regime, but you lack the bewildered gaze of a yay-saying protectorate subject. Even so, going to have to ask you to identify yourself. Still a war on and all. Huh. Really? Everyone knows we're cultivating our sprat population for a new deep-fried snack line. So I refuse to fall for such a ham-handed attempt at dissemblance. Look, we're Auntie's Choice. Lying's fine. We downright admire it even, if you pull it off. Next time, try a little harder. End of the day, we let most anybody in. Bottom line's all we care about is our bottom line. That'll be all, unless you got any questions before you're on your way. As I've never heard of her, can't say I can. Seems like Minister Milverstreet knows everybody, though. Probably ask him. Anything else? What? You been in hibernation or something? We're here to bring the free market's liberation to the people of Arcadia. And Arcadia's bounty to the rest of the galaxy, of course. Got a convoy overdue back from the landing pad. Admit I'm a bit worried. I was hoping you'd seen him. Rather worried enemy drones might be to blame. Them Protectorate drones been a serious menace of late. Heard Trooper Faulkner shot a few. You find a way to put a stop to them, there's a bounty for it. Bounty terminal's out next to the jail, across from the bar. Just down the lane here a spell. You get to Town Hall, you passed it. Oh, we got everything. One of them, at least. Clinic's over there on your left, watering hole's a bit down on the right. Market's a straight shot down the lane.
Why choose just any choice when you can choose Auntie's Choice? Remember, Auntie knows best.
Rank. Finally find a way to get ahead, and this happens.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
Minister, I'm telling you I can do more. I've been proving myself to you time and again, haven't I? All I'm asking is a mite of trust. Let me fix my arm, and I'll...
Calm down. You know the risks you enhanced troopers present. My utilizing you at all was a kindness on your behalf.
I'll calm down when you stop braying your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. You scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies,
Ain't so sure you want to work for this imbecile, friend. There's more menial jobs where that came from. Ain't so sure you want to work for this.
Do try to understand my perspective. You were so lethargic returning, I had you pre-marked as a casualty. Do you know how many forms I've had to fill out on your behalf?
Now hold on. I went into enemy territory crawling with dangerous creatures for you alone to get some dusty report. And you got the audacity to complain about paperwork? If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now. That's surely the most tempting offer I've heard all day.
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down and outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
It most assuredly is not good for her. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. If you're serious about that job offer, come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision. Most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Troopers abandoning their contracts. Blackguards like you running rampant. What is becoming of this island? I fear I may never know.
All done. Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. I'd like to take you up on your offer, if you're good for it. You're going places. Could be I'm keen on heading that direction myself. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mind the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you. Appreciate you agreeing to help, but the arm's itching something fierce. Ready to do away with it. We ought to head to Doc Tinsley's, quickly if we can. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. My commanding officer, and the surgeon who performed the operation, I imagine. I wasn't lucid at the time. When I regained consciousness, I saw that my service pistol was gone, and a termination notice was in its place. I put 2 and 2 together. Law, that was a bad morning. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. Oh, that information is outside my purview. I miss my platoon. Most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the nonstop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. What, did you think I was born into it? How else do you grow a corporation to this size without doing outside recruiting? Take a look at what most systems offer, and what Auntie's choice provides. Do the math. I'm just one of many who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms. Of course, going from a life lived in squalor to one that rewards you on merit, it would send anyone's mind spinning. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure, but I'll tell you what,
When she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or... Fine by me? Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick. And our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. It ain't like they forced us to join up. We did that on our own. And it said in our contract that they could send us wherever we were needed. Can't complain if where we're needed is in a trench staring down the barrels of a minigun. All right. We spent a week crouched in the same foxhole under aerial bombardment. Shared water one sip at a time by the end of it. Anyone would have been friends after that. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Law knows he's got a thing for heroics. Better than I'd feared. Only had to bury 2 troopers and amputate 5 limbs. I'm thankful every day that the Protectorate can't aim for shit. He kept me clear-headed. Every so often there'd be a lull in the bombardments and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Damn foolish of me, really. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life. I appreciate that, Commander. In any case, I'm only standing here because of a damn fine soldier who became my friend. I'll carry that knowledge always.
What is it? Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zyranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. A heap of fighting. My troops at the forward operating base will assist you, but if you can secure any greater advantages, you'd best do so. The Yaysayers sense they'll soon be cornered, and fight all the more fiercely thereof. It won't be easy, but it's the most direct route to the Vox. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's Choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, it'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.
For it. Why do you think I'm out here? Has nothing to do with my current and very temporary shortage of funds. Swear, I almost had it this time. Everything all lined up.
Easy, Mark. Guaranteed moneymaker, favorable terms. Practically the recipe for success. Look like you've had your share of troubles. Ever had the perfect opportunity just slip through your fingers? So you can understand my situation then. I had just the thing to get me a fast-track promotion to lower middle management. Now you seem like someone who knows a good deal and wouldn't be adverse to helping me out. It's like this. I agreed to meet with a business associate to finalize a deal, but the location got set for Spire Grove. Problem is, you been outside of Fairfield? The funicular to Spire Grove broke recently, so I got no way to get up there. I'd break my neck scaling that cliff for sure. There's a long way around, but it's not for me. Why, the path there might be lousy with raptidons for all I know. It wasn't before, but mayhap they were just lulling me into a false sense of complacency so they can strike. While exploring facilities to the north, my partner unearthed a heretofore unexploited advanced protectorate technology. Couldn't or wouldn't go into details, but he promised every household would want one, that it'd revolutionize the daily life of Auntie's Choice citizens. Typical research type, focused on all the wrong things. Not particularly motivated by competition or social advancement. Strange bird. Pitched him the dumbest deal I could think of. Told him I'd trade him my entire tossball card collection for schematics or a prototype. Said sure. Complete rube. Didn't even ask about condition. My Kelvin Tran rookie card isn't even ultra fine. Got a piece of nicotine chewing gum stuck to it. Opportunistically leveraging difficult predicaments. That's the Auntie's Choice way. I have a few bits I can offer you. Not much, but if it turns out a roaring success like it ought to, and I get a fat promotion, I promise I'll see you're taken care of later. Splendid. Go parlay with Jackson Plum up at Spire Grove. It's some kind of agricultural harvesting encampment southwest of here, near a mess of them rocky spires. He'll provide the agreed-upon schematics. Well, the broke-down funicular is due west of here. Dexterous-looking so-and-so like yourself could probably scarp her up it in a jiffy. From there, it's just up the hill a smidge. So close, but so far away. At least for me, anyhow. Truth is, haven't the slightest. You know the Protectorate have all the most advanced technology, though. Probably something straight out of an Aetherwave serial. Edible spacesuits, N-ray specs, matter translocation. It could be anything. If Jackson's all fired up about it, it'll be beyond comprehension, I'm sure. All right, then. Don't let me keep you.
Whether it's an orifice or a vein.
The door this stuff? They must be storing something good in there.
Yeah, guns, armor, probably some ammunition, too. Honestly, Kemp...
Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only 2 brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. It's in the way you carry yourself, like a ship with the slightest amount of drag. You've seen death, suffered defeat. Did you perhaps lose soldiers in a battle recently? Yes, I understand what you mean completely. Time does not always do the work we hope it will. It blunts the bitterness of failure. At best. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and caretaker of worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. Manners. How refreshing. And if I did? So you would. But I am of 2 minds on the matter of providing one. You may hold no allegiance to Auntie's Choice, but you are not Protectorate either. I think it best we end our conclave here. Be on your way before you draw attention to either of us.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Well, maybe I am drunk.
I see a huge opportunity for us in Fairfield. There's welcome to the name-pending saloon, purveyor of spirits and stimuli. What'll it be, stranger? Why, sure. You'd be surprised how much loose talk and idle speculation occurs around here. What, between them Protectorate defectors, finally able to speak their minds, and all our off-duty Antes employees carping about work and the war. Any particular topic you have in mind? Oh, Minister Milverstreet's blessed with the gift of gab. Swear he could sell bypass shunts to a Raptidon. Ain't one of them falsely magniloquent types, though. Sincere fella. Shares command of Fairfield with Acquisitions Officer Carr. She's blunt and murderous. 2 traits Auntie's Choice highly prizes in a commander of corporate forces. To say they have differing approaches to leadership is like saying, gee, suns are hot, whilst being incinerated in a solar eruption. Vox Station's run by a brigadier by the name of Montelli. Sounds like he's as much a danger to his own troops as ours. Real piece of work, even by Protectorate standards. Reportedly enamored of show trials and summary executions. Tell you one thing you can't avoid, the bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. You're asking me for the particulars of a high-level corporate acquisition. Like, an in-depth accounting of the various parties who vied for control and who won out in the end? They merged. Rebranded. Auntie Cleo seems in charge now. Dunno. Do my best to steer clear of corporate intrigue. My pleasure. Got anything for me in return? Apologies, but tall tales and poorly formed fabrications failed to impress me much. Here I was hoping you'd have a good story for me in exchange, but oh well. Not everyone's a seasoned raconteur. That is an ensuing step on my 19-point business plan. Trying to find a name that would convince patrons to spend their hard-earned bits here. Like to hear a few contenders? At present, my top favorites are 1. The Drunken Haggler, 2. Accessories, 3. Absinthe-Minded, 4. The Fair Shake. Now tell me, which would make you spend your hard-earned bits here? Well, that's what we'll call it then. I'll tell future business partners we did extensive outside testing. I can now check off step 18 of my business plan. Wait, have you already read it? Did you sneak in here whilst I was on break and peruse it in its entirety? Well, you must be some kind of intuitive business genius then. Hope you're not staying in town long. Don't need the competition. Anyhow. All right. Appreciate you dropping by.
Oh, you must be one of my copious directors. Time for another performance review already. Apologies, I'm still applying the required elbow grease to scour these surfaces, just like a novice facility sanitizer should. Many thanks for the validation. I don't suppose you can spread the word of my competency. I desperately seek to avoid yet another demotion. This meritocratic society is still so foreign. The workplace skullduggery, the prioritizing of self over community, the excessively colorful nutrition. I fear I'm not cut out for this canid, eat canid lifestyle. Seems the only way to flourish is through general underhandedness and ruthless efficiency. Never picked up those skills in my 50 years as Fairfield's drone operator. Pity they didn't keep me on there. I was quite skilled at it. Well, you're right. I wanted change. Whole reason I left the Protectorate in the first place. No sense complaining about the means now.
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here with these Protectorate defectors. Not sure how I feel about that.
Holler when you're ready for me. Don't mean to sound unsociable, but you might not want to stand so close. The bleeding ain't contagious, but it ain't slowed much neither. I hate to bleed all over you. Wouldn't mind conversating a bit, though. Anything to take my mind off the pain. Oh, it stings. I was on sentry duty, bravely surveying our perimeter for threats, when a Protectorate drone attacked out of nowhere. Third time in as many days. I returned fire like it was a cereal. Bang, bang, bang! Pew, pew, pew! Oh, not excessively, of course. Don't want Auntie taking that extra ammunition out of my paycheck. Again, it was all going fine until the damn thing blasts me while I'm reloading. Mighty uncourteous, you ask me. Trooper Faulkner happened upon the scene just then and dispatched the drone before it could finish me off. No idea where these drones are coming from, but Faulkner's been having a time of it lately. Be nice if someone helped out, but Carr's hands are tied. Lack of resources, I guess? As for the rest of these fine folk, they were attacked by Protectorate while defending the forward operating base. Imagine the base is probably hurting for warm bodies just now. Only one of the most lucrative posts a soldier could be assigned to. Hazard pay through the roof. The FOB's our main line of defense. The only thing stopping the Protectorate from sending their legions over that bridge of theirs and attacking us here in Fairfield. The man in charge, Commander Torres, is a legend. Rumor has it his troopers are relentless, fighting through wounds that would kill most. What I wouldn't give to join his outfit. Playing it safe doesn't amount to much, but maybe you're right. Probably just muck things up at the FOB too. Damn it. I gotta find some way to beat these low-runger allegations. It's all a moot point till I can get this arm of mine mended. Poor Doc Barnes is working himself to the bone trying to take care of us, but he's only one man. I suppose it could be worse. At least Command's not throwing us at that relay station. Can't imagine the casualties he'd be dealing with then, given all its defenses. Well, Cole's got the saloon up and running now. World always shines a little brighter after a few swigs of Spectrum. I don't know. You some kind of doctor type? Well, all right then. Just hope you're not squeamish. How bad is bad? Wait, don't tell me. I don't want to know. That was a comparison I could have done without. Huh. Why do I feel hungry all of a sudden? Say, I'm not sure I like the way you're looking at my arm right now. Maybe you best get along.
We are currently experiencing, please, limit all respiratory fits of coughing, choking,
Take whatever
and or wheezing
business
to
you're
under
running
10 seconds.
I must ask you to hold
How do you eat
still.
Purpleberry Crunch? Real warriors eat it right from the box.
Have a profitable...
My liver ain't the lily kind. Tell it to me straight, Doc.
The bullet shattered your tibia and all but demolished your gastrocnemius muscle. Due to the risk of infection, I have to abscise your leg. There is good news, however. I recently enrolled in a course on advanced amputation techniques, so I'll be seeing a positive return on my investment sooner than expected. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a private consultation.
Say,
how sore are my pockets gonna be after all this, Doc? Don't suppose there's a discount for only taking a portion of the leg?
I'm not running a charity. If you desire full treatment, you'll pay full cost. If that's a problem, seek compensation from your commanding officer. Well then, she should have thought about that before getting shot.
This is a mighty big decision, Doc. Can I have a moment to noodle on it?
I don't encourage delays, but very well. It'll take a few minutes for me to warm up the saw anyway. At the moment, yes, it's only medical, Doctor. We also have Dr. Tinsley, but let's just say she's in a different discipline altogether. I'm on my own then, more or less. In case it isn't apparent, I'm having what might be called a day. A whole platoon of soldiers decided to get themselves all shot up defending the forward operating base. And then there's Erickson. Something happened with a drone. I don't know. You'd be better off speaking with him about it. Oh, good lad. But he's mistaken. It's not more hands I need, but resources. Short of you skipping back in time and ordering the coagulant I need, I doubt anything can be done to accelerate the timetable for treating these soldiers. I am a doctor, not a magician. I cannot manufacture coagulant from the aether, neither do I possess the special training to improvise with what supplies I have on hand. Now, was there anything else? Oh, certainly. Right after I see to all these other patients who arrived before you. Such hysterics would not endear you to me, no. It had better be important. Some, most still tout the all-healing nature of protectorate medicine. But despite that, they're surprisingly amenable to accepting treatment.
They've grown up with the right to dissent. Probably wouldn't even occur to them to turn down poison if you told them to take it.
Good thing I don't prescribe poison then. Normally. In truth, I expected more resistance given the sudden transition. But I'm not one to complain of a headache I don't have.
Know anybody in middle management? Put in a good word for me?
You ever find yourself with too much disposable income? I got plenty of ideas.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Of course. Though I must also apologize for my inappropriate courtesy a moment ago. You're here for delectable discountables, not my pointless observations. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. I didn't want to seem discourteous by asking. I still sometimes forget this isn't the Protectorate. Maybe I will put in the request. That'll sure show some initiative. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. Sure thing. Exit encouragement. Hold on, that's not right. Just a moment, I'll remember. When you want better than the best, think more perfect goods. Say, I think I'm getting a handle on this. Top rungers, here I come. Well...
Take the pressure off with anti-fizzles, bottled under more than 3 atmospheres of pressure.
Breeze sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
I'm simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys, or a full half-dozen automechs, all by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here, breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Research mostly, some wholesale, and as the base for some small batch, highly exclusive, limited edition retail runs. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Well, I've got a lot left to do and not much time left to do it in, so you can show yourself out.
So who are you rooting for in the tossball leagues this season? Yes?
You just stopping by to admire the mines, or is there something I can help you with? See this system here? It deploys extreme countermeasures against overhead attacks in the form of aerial explosives, oft referred to as sky mines by those who prefer brevity. However, the whole thing is currently non-operational. Some problem with the lifting mechanism. No lift means no sky mines. No sky mines means the enemy can blow in like a bad sail, and we'll all be passing in our bits before you can say, "Gee, nice weather we're having today." Truth is, maybe I could use some help. But if you mention this conversation to anyone, I will deny it ever took place. I'll be over there if you need me. Way over there. Should clear the blast radius at that distance. This launcher ain't going to fix itself. What in the... All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. No, sorry, you're right. You did me, and all of Fairfield, a good turn here. Just thought I'd feel more relieved when the launcher was working again. Real subtle, ain't you? Here, managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows? Might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
Every time I think I'm having a bad day, I just tell myself, wait till tomorrow.
Nature made apples, but Anti-Fizzos made them better with Anti-Cleo's patented...
Saw you coming this time. Saw you coming this time.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Is that not why you've come? Because you discovered our recent larceny at the greenhouse? The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. I am merely quivering with rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it?
The more I listen to you invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. Spare me your insults. They mean less than nothing coming from the mouth of a corporate pet. I would sever my own hands at the wrist rather than sign a corporate contract. A generous offer, but we prefer to die in the service of the Sovereign. This was always going to end in blood.
Ready to take the heat off, Commander.
Guess I had this mystery all wrong. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. She was. Yeah. Oh, that feels good to say aloud, even if it hurts too. Romantic entanglements ain't exactly encouraged between troopers, especially in the same division. Supposedly compromises our decision-making in the field. But I digress. Thanks for your help, and for listening to my languishments. Glad someone else might remember her now, too. Emmeline will be practically a detective now. Wonder what other mysteries around here need solving.
You're back. Why? You read my terminal? How embarrassing. The compliance adjusters broke the door lock when they arrested my predecessor, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. Not that I thought anyone had come snooping. I'd made careful arrangements to tie up everyone's loose ends. Everyone except you, it seems. So, why are you so interested in my other work? You're not part of compliance. Huh. Assertive, ambitious, and aggressively self-deterministic? A go-getter who's not afraid of getting into the muck if there might be profit in it? You know, I've been looking for some backfills with the kind of cleverness usually only found on the seedy lower decks of the claim. Feel like making a few bits? Wonderful. Your jib is exactly the kind of cut we could use right now. And I've got a whole cartridge of bits that's been waiting for someone to earn it. I'm part of Sub Rosa. We're a group of merchants, information brokers, and commodity traders who deal outside the systems most folk are confined by.
You can trust them. We make under-the-table deals with them all the time.
We're the best way to get things done in anti-space if you're looking for profit. Want to buy it, sell it, move it? We've got someone to do it for you. Isn't that just wonderful? I had no suspicion when you walked through my door that you'd help resolve the last of the morass Paradise Island has become for us. And all we need you to do is access Quartermaster Cardos's terminal and scrub any Spectrum vodka from her ledgers. It's already been resold, so having it in her system could become problematic. Expunge it, and I get you some bits, and the friendship of Sub Rosa all over the system. You get me? Because we are the black market in Arcadia. Odds are, at some point, you're going to need something you just can't get legally. Then you'll be thrilled we're associated. Sub Rosa feeds that appetite to not just survive, but to thrive. And that's taking all of us places. We're more than simple opportunists. We are opportunistically driven. Trust me, for both short-term benefits and long-term prospects, you want to be our friend. It'll probably be nothing. She's just a sergeant, not someone who has any real pull. And I've already made arrangements with everyone who matters. So, if she catches you, about the worst she can do is a switch on the wrist. And I'll be waiting here with your bits.
Keep them coming. I can do this all day.
Gonna need a bigger storeroom for all these. Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted, quick and proper, or your next provision's free. Thought these old factories caught a whiff of decrepitude percolating in the air. I'd explain it then. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our brave troops with all of their wartime essentials. You could say I put the ration in liberation. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. No one here but you, me, and several tons of well-oiled machinery. What's this about? Good eye. Though I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammerclaw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. Don't have the aptitude for flight, apparently. But this role suits me fine. I like the upward mobility, in the metaphorical business sense, I mean. What? She'll start bleeding fuel during ascent, if not worse. I'd best go and take a quick gander, just in case. Thanks for the tip.
Stop blaming the wind.
If you're not a go-getter, then go away. You'd make a great lower manager.
Trainee Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not. I can assure you they are. The soldiers before you are former Protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They are accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, and even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day. I'm only responsible for familiarizing them with the weapons they will come to rely on in future. However, having observed them on the range, they fail every hurdle, but keep getting back up. I'd say that speaks to an admirable resilience. Or stupidity. Difficult to say which. I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits?
What? Oh, sure thing. The commander here is an experienced Deadeye and a natural leader. If you're looking for someone to deposit a few pearls of wisdom, I guarantee you'll not find better.
Much as I'm inclined to trust the word of your compatriot, I still expect you to advocate for yourself. You're the one who wishes to speak with my recruits, after all, not him. You do have a certain confidence about you that is presently absent in these recruits. Very well, I'll allow you to speak with them. Don't make me regret this. Attention trainees, guns down. That means you too, Simpson. We have a guest who has a few words to share.
You have something to say to us? Wait, I know this one. Low overhead and competitive prices.
Consider your fellow troopers as siblings in arms, trustworthy, reliable. They are not, as we have discussed, meat shields.
All right. Do seem to recall a discussion like that now that you mention it.
Precisely. Anticipate, then react. Now, if Auntie's faith in you is not misplaced, then prove it, trainees! Weapons at the ready! And fire! Well done, trainees! Well done! It appears your words have had their intended effect. Oh, thank law. The trainees seem quite taken with you, too. As I suspect they would riot if I let you leave without a reward. Please, accept this revolver with Auntie's thanks. Plan willing, I will have as much success deploying your wisdom with my next batch of recruits.
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly!
Hal? Are you breathing? Say something! Oh, law. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? Damn. Well, that draws an end to both our hopes for those boots and our association with poor Jackson. He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allowed the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. Not nearly as upset as we are. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Exactly! Because he had no idea how science works and thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So, when I told him to jump, he opted for open air instead of where I told him to go. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they could give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault. I don't know about no macro-fried whatever you said. They're Protectorate gear, and that's about all I know.
That, and that they're perfectly safe. Thank the Sovereign. Thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life, utterly absent of starvation. bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
That's it? It was that easy?
We've certainly found our way into a most harrowing circumstance, At least I'm glad I'm not alone. He hadn't been here terribly long, so we weren't particularly familiar. Like me, he was also former protectorate, but he was not raised in Fairfield, so we'd never met before. Still, he seemed like a friendly, kind sort, albeit a headstrong one. I'm sorry he's gone. Please do hurry. I've lost count of how many meals we've missed, but it is closer to many than a few, and we're starving.
That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards. Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest, but to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell. Thanks again for getting us off that literal ledge.
You're really something
Though
else,
with our
stranger.
gratitude meaningfully
Thank you for
expressed
getting us
through the
down.